So welcome back everyone once again. This is October November 2024. We will solve question 2 on object oriented programming. Then I'll walk you through on how to solve problems on this and now let's solve. Before you solve, read, understand before you start typing. If you don't understand and you type, it's most likely you will type rubbish. Understood? Good. A computer program is designed to simulate horses doing show jumping. In show jumping, horses jump over obstacles called fences. A horse successfully jumps a fence if it does not knock the fence down. The program is written using object-oriented programming. The class horse stores data about horses. Does that make any sense to us? Not yet, just story. Yeah, you see stories like this. That won't make sense to you. So don't panic. Just continue to read. Okay? Don't feel like, oh, us. What's us now in computer science? How do I solve this problem? No. Don't panic. Just continue to read, okay? Good. The class us. So you know that us is a class. The class is written in this row, the first row. Okay? The class will be written in the first row. Now, the next row is about the attributes. The attributes will be written in the next row. While the next row will be what? The methods. So you will likely have 3 rows in this table of object-oriented programming, okay? Where the first row will be the what? The name of the class. The second row will be the what? The attributes. While the third row will be the methods. Is that understood? So it says that the class horse stores data about the horses. Then this is the class. Then we have how many attributes? 3 attributes. Is that understood? And the data types of the attributes have been declared. Is that understood? Then these are the descriptions for this attribute. What the attribute is intended to be used for. The name is used to store the name given to the horse. That is the horse in context of this question, the horse that jumps over the fence. Max fence height, it stores the maximum height of the fence that the horse can jump. Is that understood? The maximum height that the jump can what? Can jump. That means if it is more than that, the horse cannot jump that. Percentage success. This stores the percentage chance of a horse not knocking down a fence. So for a horse not to knock down a fence, that means the horse has successfully jumped the fence. Isn't it? Because it says that stores the percentage chance of a horse not knocking down a fence. For example, 70 represents a 70% chance of jumping a fence successfully. So these are the attributes and these are the description of what the attribute is used for. These are the methods. This is a description of what the method is used for. The constructor is a method. In Python, we have an inbuilt constructor, right? And that constructor is what? The init constructor, isn't it? Good. It's also a what? It's also a function. Do you know that? Good. It initializes what? The name, max height, and the percentage subject to is what? Parameter values. That means it initializes the attributes to the parameter values. Is that understood? Now, get name returns the name of the horse. Get max fence height returns the maximum height the horse can jump. Success calculates and return the percentage chance of a horse successfully jumping a specific fence. So you don't have to waste your time on it. Just read and get the description and get the information. Don't start thinking like, what does this mean? What does this mean? No, don't waste your time. Just read, get the information, and move forward. When you need it, then you go back to the table when you need that information. But by the time you get to the question where you need it, you will remember that you saw this in the table. Then you go back to that table. Is that understood? Now, good. Question AI. It says, write the program code to declare class what? Us and its constructor. So that means we are asked to write the code for us and what? Constructor, isn't it? Just two things. Us, constructor. Use your programming language appropriate constructor. That will be the init constructor for what? For Python, isn't it? All attributes must be, it's compulsory. If it is not made private, excuse me, if it's not made private, then you lose your mark for not making it private. If you are writing in Python, include what? Attribute declaration using what? Comment. That means these declarations that I always tell you that about data type are very important. So now we have gotten the information and we know what to write now, isn't it? So let's now write since we know what to write. So the first thing, we are asked to declare the class us. Then you write class us, isn't it? After writing the class us, what is the next thing to write? The constructor. So that will be def init, isn't it? Then we'll pass what? The parameters, isn't it? How many parameters is needed to be passed? 3, because there are 3 attributes. And the constructor initializes the 3 attributes to its parameter value. If the constructor initializes 2 attributes to its parameter values, how many parameters are we going to pass? 2. Even though we have 3 attributes, do you know? I told you in the last class that it's not compulsory we have the number of parameters for the number of attributes, isn't it? Okay, good. So that means I need 3 parameters. But before I write the parameter, what is the first thing to write? The self, isn't it? So let me write the first one as name. Then what is the next one? Marked fence. And what? And success. Okay, these are just variable names, isn't it? Now, what is the next thing? The 3 parameters, isn't it? So that the first one be what? Self dot name is equal to what? Name, isn't it? Then the next is what? Self dot what? Max fence height. That is the parameter name. Sorry, that is the attribute name, isn't it? Good. Max fence height is equal to what? Max fence. You can use any name as a parameter, but the attribute must be the name that was given to you, isn't it? Good. And the next is what? Self dot what? Percentage success is equal to what? Success. Is that understood, everyone? Now, the most important thing is the data type of the attributes, isn't it? So that gives, so the name is an integer. Is a what? Is a string. Okay, good. And the max fence height is a what? Is an integer. Likewise, this guy is also an integer. Is that understood? Is that all? Yes. Us constructor. That is all. 4 marks, guys. This is bonus. Now, the next question. It says, the get methods, get name and get maximum fence height, each return the relevant attributes. But they did not mention the attribute it will return in this question, isn't it? Was it mentioned? No. Because it was not mentioned, then you go back to the table to understand. Is that understood? You know you are writing about 2 methods. Which are the what? The get, name, and what? Get maximum fence height. So what will they return? Then you go back to the table. Get name returns what? The name. And what is the attribute for name? name, isn't it? Get maximum fence height returns what? The maximum height the horse can jump, which is what? Max fence height. Is that understood? So you now go back and write your code. So will you write those functions outside of the class or inside of the class? Because there are methods in the class, isn't it? And they are also in this table. If the method is not in this table, that means it is not in the class. Understood? So I have def get name. I need to pass what? Self, isn't it? Then I write return self dot what? Name. Is that understood? That is all. def again. What is that? Get max fence height. Get max fence height. Then you also pass what? Self. Then what do you return? Self dot what? Max fence height. Is that understood? Guys, this is 3 marks. Bonus again. So the next question. The array horses. Is this a class? This is now an array. Am I supposed to type now? I don't even know what to type. Some students will start typing. No, don't type. Wait, read, understand before you type. Okay, good. So the array horses stores objects of type horse. Can you now see? Similar to the example I made in class the other time, right? The array horses stores object of type horse. Can it store 1, 2, 3? A, B, C? What are these store? Type horse. Is that understood? It does not store values. It only stores what? Objects. The program has 2 horses. 1. The horse named Beauty. That is the what? Name of the horse. Can jump maximum height of what? 150. What is that? Maximum what? Fence height, isn't it? And has a success percentage of what? 72. What does that mean? Percentage success, isn't it? Can you relate that to the attributes now? Yes. The second one. The horse named what? Jet. Can jump a maximum height of what? 160. And has a success percentage rate of what? 65. Now, we don't know what to do yet. This is an information. It now says, write program code. Now, write. Are you all following me? Program code. 2. We will write this code in the class or outside of the class? Outside of the class. Probably in the what? In the main function. Is that understood? Good. Some people will start writing this inside the class. So reading the question, you know you are creating an object, right? From the class. And that should be what? Outside of the class. So that means I need to what? Write a main function. Isn't it? You have to start writing from this right, not before the right. Write program code to declare the array horses. Can you see? Then I write horses is equal to, then you have to what? Declare an array of type what? Horse. Is that understood? Can it be of type horses? Of type? Because horses is array. Horse is an object, isn't it? Is that understood? Of type this. Is that understood? Good. With spaces for 2 what? Horse objects. With space for 2 horse objects. Fine. We don't need that. Store the 2 horses described in the array. These 2 horses described, store them. How do we store? What is the first or what is the second horse? They should be, you need to create what? An object from the 2 horses first before you now store them. Is that understood? Can you just store the name, height inside an array? No. What do you save in an array? An object. That means you create the object. Is that understood? So let's create the first horse. Horse 1. Horse 1 should be what? Horse. Isn't it? You pass how many arguments? What is the first argument? name. And what is the name? Beauty. Are you all following me? What is the second argument? 150. What is the third argument? 72. So us 1 is it what? Us 1 is what? Is an object, isn't it? Now us 2 is equal to us. How many arguments as well? 3. And that should be what? Get 160 and what? 65. So these are the two objects, isn't it? Are you all following me? These are the two objects. And you now store them in the, after creating the object, isn't it? Then you now write that us, which is your array, will be equal to us 1, comma what? Us 2. Is that understood? Now the two objects have been saved in the array. What does it now say? Output the name of both us's objects from the, what are we asked to output? Name of both us's, isn't it? So can I write dot name? Can I write dot name? So can I write print us 1 dot name? Can I write this? Why? Name is a private attribute. I cannot access it out of the class. So how do I get the name? I use get name, isn't it? Dot get name with the brackets, isn't it? So that is for us 1. Then print us 2 dot get name. So this will output the name of both us's. Is that understood? Good. Oh, that was a mistake. It says from the array. Then I'm wrong. Do you know? Because I'm outputting from the objects. I am not outputting from the array. Although you get the correct answer, but I have not answered the question. A lot of students does that. And that was why I told you that the fact that your code runs does not mean you get an 100%. The fact that you get your result does not mean you get an 100%. Is that understood? The question says from the array. The question does not say from the objects. Is that understood? So let me output from the array. So instead of using us 1, I should have used us is 0. Us is 0, isn't it? And this should be what? Us is 1. Us is 1. Is that understood, everyone? So that means I have been able to get them from the array, not from the, although the array has the object. Is that understood? So now I have answered the question according to the question. Okay? How many marks is that? 5 marks. If you take a look at this question, it's more complicated unlike the other questions, right? But it's just 5 marks. The next question, test your program. So let's test this and see if it gives us the two names. We did not call the main function because I wrote the main function as a function, isn't it? So I need to call the main function. So whenever you write your main program as a function, always remember to call. And if you don't remember, you get no results. So just call. Is that not correct? Good. Now the next question.